Everybody ready?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, well, let's get this show on the road, call the meeting to order. Sure. Right, you want to call the roll?
Yes. Mary Schroeder, present. Chester Bojek,
Here.
and our attorney is Michael Casper.
Yes. Okay, we can skip the second item on the agenda. We did that last time. We adopted procedural rules, so we're going to start with the cases. The first case is Corbin versus Kokar, case number 2025 MOEB01 for the objector
Tiffany Nelson Jaworski.
and for the candidate.
Chaudhary Kokar.
Okay, Mr. Kokar, do you have a lawyer?
No, I'm person.
Okay, all right. When we were last here, we reviewed the case and determined that there are allegations regarding the signatures on the nominating petitions. We referred the matter to the county clerk's office to conduct the examination of the petitions.
Yes.
The way I've had several communications with the county clerk's office, that process is ongoing, but incomplete.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Apparently, the way they do it is they do it themselves. And then they're gonna send us their findings and the records of all the voters, and then we can just go through them. And there's not a lot of signatures, so it shouldn't be. But I sent that to them last week, and it's just not completed yet. So we haven't heard from them. But I think we need to come back when they're complete.
I talked with election commission manager, and the manager mentioned that
We can't hear
that's a one way. That's a
Speaking to the microphone, please turn it on.
I talked with the DuPage commission last week, and I talked with manager, and she said that one way is which you explain, that you just send and they verify and send back. Second is that representative from responder as well as from objector, they can be present over there during verification process.
Okay,
So both are,
okay,
that's a signature.
okay,
Yes.
great. Okay,
So my request is that, I want to be present in person for verification.
they did not inform me when this was happening. I will inquire today.
Okay.
And I'll let both parties know. Okay, and if they can, if it's possible to have somebody there, I'll certainly encourage them. Okay,
Now, if I may, Mr. Casper,
Sure.
all of the petitions that were circulated by Mr. Kokar. And I think last time we had a discussion as to whether the signature line by line objections themselves were enough to bring Mr. Kokar under, and it was admitted and represented by myself that no, that would not be enough. We would still need to go to the pattern of fraud issue. Do we want to handle the pattern of fraud issue today? I do have a witness here today that was disclosed in accordance with the
Yeah.
deadline, or how does the board want to handle
yeah,
that?
Madam Chair, and everyone, the status of the case is, in order for the objector to prevail, she has to prevail on two things. She has to rule from the county clerk's office that a certain number of the candidate's signatures are invalid. And then she also has to prove a second, because that first point alone is not enough to let her win the case. So the second point is she is attempting to show that Mr. Kokar, who signed the nominating petitions as the circulator of each petition, did not in fact circulate the sheets. Fair characterization?
Correct.
And she has a witness that she'd like to call. And we had set this matter for hearing today. And because the county clerk hasn't finished its review yet, we're not ready to complete the case. But it seems to me it would be most efficient and the fairest thing to do is to hear the witness while they're here today, so they don't have to be inconvenienced and come back. So I think that's how we should proceed. Mr. Kokar, any objections?
No objection.
Okay, all right. Well, let's do that then. Ms. Jaworski, the floor is yours. Call your first witness.
Okay, first as a point of order, I think we still need to discuss, Mr. Kokar had filed a document, or a slew of documents. I believe it was the day after the hearing, one to subpoena witnesses, another document, seemingly some affidavits. I would ask that first, as for preliminary matter, that the filing be stricken, number one, because the filing was not done in accordance with the rules of procedure. The only way that I got served with a copy of it was through a village employee. Village employee is not a member of the electoral board, has absolutely nothing to do with the electoral board. The rules clearly provide that I, as the attorney for the objector, am to be served with these documents, and it is prejudicial to not do that service correctly. I had to receive it through a third-party source, which is not the correct way to do things. I do understand that Mr. Kokar is pro se. However, my understanding is, I believe, and you can correct me if I am wrong, but I believe he did go to law school. He does have a at least working understanding of law. He has been served with a copy of the rules. He further has sat on the electoral board in the past, so he's familiar with this process. And the rules are there for a reason. And it would be my position that the documents that he's tendered be stricken, and in addition to the fact that they were not filed correctly they were instead filed with the village administrator, which again has absolutely nothing to do with this electoral board, because this electoral board is a completely separate public body. But in addition to that, we had a 24-hour evidentiary disclosure deadline yesterday where we had to disclose possibly the evidence that we were intending to be using. And that was specific to this case. And I received nothing from Mr. Kokar. So I'm coming in here kind of blind, having no idea what evidence he intends to be producing today or witnesses.
Okay, Mr. Kokar, did you send Mr. Jaworski a copy of the documents you
Yes,
filed?
I gave all those paperwork to Deputy Clerk of Electoral Board, Mr. Flint. He's here. He is Deputy Clerk of the board,
Okay,
number one.
Okay.
Number two, Mr. Flint can answer you. He is,
but did you send them to Ms. Jaworski?
and I gave those paper, and number one, I gave him as a deputy clerk, then I gave him I deliver him that he can send by email.
Okay.
Not as a village administrator, as a Doug Flint.
Okay, I'll take that as a no. You did not send it to Mr. Jaworski, right?
No, he said that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Mr. Flint said it.
Okay.
And he's
All right.
as well, he's a
That's
deputy
right. All
clerk.
right, from now on, any documents that you want to use, you have to give a copy to Mr. Jaworski yourself.
Okay.
You have her email.
Okay.
Okay, all right, all right. Mr. Jaworski, when did you get the document?
I was originally served with the documents, I believe it was the day after the original hearing. So whenever that was, let me, I could tell you to check my email exactly when Mr. Flint forwarded them. But I was not sure honestly what to do with them because they weren't, number one, they weren't filed properly. And I was also never given any sort of inclination that he was intending on using these for the hearing because he didn't comply. They were sent on December 6th. He didn't comply with the requirements of the board to give me a 24-hour notice, if you will, as it relates to the 24-hour disclosure that this board established at the prior hearing.
Okay. Okay, so the last hearing was 2 weeks ago?
I
2
believe.
weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago today? I think it was
12 days ago.
12 days ago? Okay, all right. Here's what I think, Ms. Jaworski's point is well taken. She should be served with the copies of the documents, but she did get the documents. That's the important. I think that, since we're not going to be able to conclude the matter today, and Mr. Kokar is within his rights to request a subpoena. He did it in a timely fashion, although he didn't serve it on Mr. Jaworski according to the rules, or on me according to the rules. So I think that we should deny the motion to strike Mr. Kokar's request for documents. That's right. And, in terms of the witness, the subpoena, Mr. Kokar, who would you like to subpoena and why?
Number one, I went in person to that address. Then
Wait.
actually,
Who would you like to subpoena? What are their names?
there are four people. One
Okay.
is Mr. Hussain.
Okay,
Second is Mrs. Sen.
okay,
Third is their son. And fourth is their daughter. There are 8 registered voters at that address. And I have record from Rupesh from the Election Commission. 8
So-
registered
so-
voters.
Ismath Ahmad
Yes,
is their son,
probably,
Zara Khan
probably,
is their daughter.
probably.
Wait.
Yeah, they are addressing.
Oh, okay. And it doesn't seem that you allege that they are petition signers.
I believe, I checked the signature sign on the petition. And signature I got from the Page Election Commission, handwriting resembled with their son.
Okay. All right, so, sure.
Mr. Kokar. You took the petition over to the House. Who signed it?
I went over there with my voters list. So when I go with voter list, I ask, what's your name? Are you registered voter on this? What's your name? And they mentioned that my name is this.
You said there were 4 signatures, right?
No,
2 signatures. Were both parties there to sign?
yes.
You swear to that?
Yeah.
And what's their names?
We do not ask, ID. We just ask, is your name? Are you registered? That's my pattern. And all those my list, voter list, I have those with me. And that shows, same pattern. Whenever I go, someone says, this is my name, my vote is registered, so I tick mark that name again on the.
I know the procedure. I did that before.
Yeah.
20 years.
Is this is.
Hold on.
Okay.
Any other?
Were both parties there? Because the signatures look the same.
Yes,
They look identical. That means one person signed both names.
not in my presence. What?
All right, I just wanted to bring that up and put that on record.
Okay, Mr. Worski, besides the notice issue, do you have any objection to this being?
Yes, I do. I do believe that the subpoenas are designed to harass voters that decided to submit an affidavit in this matter. My understanding is that at least 2 of the people that he's requesting to subpoena did not even sign the petitions. We don't even know if they're present. I don't understand the purpose of subpoenaing them. I don't think it's sufficiently been laid out as to why their testimony may or may not be relevant. As it relates to the subpoena of the signer of the affidavit, Azim Hussain, that's the purpose of the affidavit, is so that he doesn't have to be inconvenienced any further, and he can submit an affidavit to put his version of the truth into the record without being inconvenienced any further and without being harassed. My understanding is that the wife also is being subpoenaed. And I don't think that the purpose of her subpoena is clearly laid out in the request. I don't think there is any reason to have her come in and testify. I think that the affidavit itself is sufficient to show that there is a concern as to whether there is a pattern of fraud, whether Mr. Kokar, in fact, was the actual circulator for all of these petitions, or whether maybe he was a circulator, but maybe he didn't personally witness every single signature that was fixed onto the petitions. So that is the concern that I think is raised by the affidavit that was submitted. I don't think there's any need to probe that any further as it relates to Mr. Hussein's representation. If Mr. Kokar disputes that, Mr. Kokar is certainly ready, willing, and able to enter into evidence any sort of dispute that he may has, he can offer his own testimony, sworn, and make his own sworn statements as to how he performed his circulation and whether the signer personally appeared before him, or whether this was a case in which the wife signed for the husband or something else. I also think that once we get the results of the records exam, we'll also see some other patterns that may emerge from the records examination that may also lead to a potential confusion or thought that maybe there is a pattern of fraud here. So number one, I would ask that the board reserve complete judgment on the case until we have the results of the records examination to see if that's further illuminating on this issue. However, that said, I do feel that there is not enough in this subpoena request to inconvenience a party that has already offered something to this board to state that, this is what they feel had occurred. And again, I do think that based upon what I've heard, this family is now being harassed, and this is just further evidence of this harassment.
Okay.
Can I show her?
No, not right. Okay, yeah, you can charge.
Yeah.
Here's what
I
you have
have
a
a
question? Sure.
question on these.
This is
Hold on, Mr. Kokar. Mr. Kokar, please sit down.
green.
On the affidavit of Sahir Al-Shmiri. He
No,
said
that's
that,
different. That's different.
he said that he signed sheet 13 and his address 28 Campbell, yet sheet 13 line 1 is crossed off. Why do we have this affidavit if his signature is not on the petition?
This is sheet number 30. This is different. Should we just
I know.
about same,
Yeah, you sent this in. She can
Yeah,
ask
I
you a
did,
question.
but should we discuss about the other linguistics that what we were discussing?
If the chair would like to ask a question, I think it's.
Okay, that is sheet 13. I went in person that house, not this house, in that whole circle. And I asked him his name, same way. I can show. This is-
It's not my question. My question is, you submitted an affidavit
Yes,
saying that this is his signature, yet you crossed it off. the
No.
petition.
She's talking about at the bottom in the circulator section.
But where he signed on line 1, the man who this is about, that was crossed off. That's him, 28 Campbell. That's his signature, and he was crossed off the petition. I'm just wondering why we have the affidavit.
Because the
And
affidavit is,
the affidavit is about that, but if you're saying he is a valid voter, whatever, why did you cross his name off line 1?
I collected over 400 signatures. Number one. Number two, I submitted about 187 signatures. I went to DuPage Election Commission. After I got signatures, I went to DuPage Election Commission with my daughter, and I requested them if we can tally those signatures with the computer and with my signature listing. So I knew that this would happen. And one of my friends said, be careful. They are not going to spare you. They will try to catch you. So I took my daughter. I went there. I requested they provided us a computer. I went vote by vote, signature by signature. So anything I found little bit, I strike that. And I have stricken 47 signatures. That I saw some problem, I took from off and I put attached list, of 47 signatures that I have stricken. So I did not want to be thrown out from valid representatives. And secondly, when I submitted this, I went to that address I asked him his name, same question, are you registered voter? What's your name? I have list, you know. You can, ma'am, you can check there, see 28, there is name of it. So same thing, I check mark that name, who signed, but by mistake, he put his name, say sign in the bottom. And then I say it's not, you are not supposed to sign over here, you are supposed to sign at the line.
Does that answer your question?
So on the line,
Yeah.
he
Okay,
stuck.
okay, I get it. Okay,
If you were there with your petitions and they're signing it, you witnessed it. Now you're saying they sign on the bottom. Did you give them instructions? Just the name, address?
I gave him this, he was signing, when I got this, he put on the
That's not the
bottom.
petition.
No, not petition, the petition is here. This is the petition paper.
You just showed me the voters list, not the petition.
No, I can show you that. Okay. This is the petition.
I know what a petition looks
So
like.
when I gave him, he put his name over here instead of over here. I said, you are not supposed to.
What do you mean, instead of word?
Over here on the line, you know, signature line. This is signature line. I mean, you know this system. This is why it's supposed to circulate my name. But instead of here on the line, he put at the bottom by mistake. That's why he wrote.
Well, if he's signing petitions, you can't see that he's gonna sign the bottom too?
No, I don't see him. I mean, if I.
Then you're not paying attention.
No, I am paying attention, but it's like. this.
I doubt that. Okay, thank
It's
you.
like
You
this.
answered my question.
okay, okay. Any other questions? All right, here's what I think we should do. I think that the motion to strike the request for subpoena should be denied. I think the request for subpoenas for Ismath Ahmed and Zara Khan, Khan, should be denied. I don't think there's sufficient nexus to allow that. And Mr. Kokar has not made any representations that they were witnesses other than suspicion they might have been, and I don't think that's true. Regarding Mr. and Miss Hussein, Husain, I think that Mr. Kokar ought to be permitted an opportunity to subpoena them. One of the objector's allegations is that they did not sign the petitions themselves. They've called that into question, and the objector has put in testimony by Mr. Hussein in the form of an affidavit, and I think that Mr. Kokar has a right to cross-examine them. So I think that we should grant those two subpoenas and deny the other. I think that's the first. You need a motion.
Tiffany, do you agree with that?
Respectfully, Mr. Casper, I do disagree, just because these are obviously very expedited proceedings. We want to move these things along. And again, my understanding is this family has been subject to harassment since this affidavit was signed, and I don't want them to have any further harassment because they decided to participate in the electoral process and sign this affidavit.
I reserve the right to respond. These signatures, they are material witness, they signed this petition, and my belief is that they were compelled, they were forced by people to execute that affidavit. And second is the second part. In the affidavit, he mentioned, I am duly registered and qualified voter of Village of Glendale Heights. He did not mention he was a registered voter at 1016 Greenbrier Drive. No mention that. He on the affidavit, he does not say he lives at that address, 1016. Is very important, very material witness. And we can depose, to me, is not just signature. There are people involved behind this conspiracy who wanted me to throw out from this ballot, number
Okay, we're
one.
getting a little far afield.
Number two,
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, I think we understand. All right, so there should be a motion to either accept the petition request from Mr. Kokar for Mr. and Mrs. Hussein, or to deny all of the petition requests.
I'm all for denying it because I feel like we can continue this on and on and on, and this is going to.
All right, there's a motion to deny all the subpoena requests.
And I'll second it.
There's a second.
Um,
Okay, so your motion for subpoenas has been denied.
I will,
Okay.
I will go to.
Okay. All right, so where we are then is,
And other thing is, this is contrary to your.
Wait, Mr. Castro is trying to say something.
okay, so I think that it brings us now to where we were a few minutes ago. Mr. Jaworski, would you like to call your first witness?
Yes, first thing I would like to do is, call Mr. Dante Tonelli to the stand. Would you prefer that?
Probably over here where everybody can see. Madam Chair, in your capacity as clerk, can you swear the witness?
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth and keep the nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Dante Tonelli, D-A-N-T-E. Tonelli, T-O-N-E-L-L-I.
Okay, and where do you reside?
2019 South 24th Avenue,
And what community is that in?
Broadview.
Thank you. And are you a notary public?
Yes,
And in your capacity as a notary public, did you ever have any occasion to meet a gentleman named Azim, A-Z-I-M, Hussein, H-U-S-A-I-N?
yes.
And if I showed you a document that I'm going to mark as Objectors Exhibit A, can you please tell me what this document is? And I'm gonna, just hold on one second, I'm gonna give the board copies of it so that everybody has it in their hand as well as my opinion. Thought I had enough things for everybody. You guys are right. It's the same thing that was attached at the end of the objection. So everyone should have already seen it by now. Okay, Mr. Tonelli, can you tell me what that document is?
Affidavit,
Okay, and what kind of affidavit is it?
testimony, stating that, Mr. Hussein did not sign this petition.
Okay, and did you have an occasion to meet with Mr. Hussein in person?
Yes.
And what date was that done?
24th of November.
Okay, and did you in fact, I guess, tell me about your process when you go through notarizing a document such as this for an individual?
Sure. During the process of notary, you want to make sure that you are talking with the person that is in front of you, that their identification that is presented matches the person in front of you, as well as the signature on their ID matches the signature that they present to you.
Okay,
While going through that process, you also have to log that in your notary log to safeguard yourself as a notary as well as the document that you are representing.
And then in your notary log, do you record any specific information?
Yes, ma'am.
If I showed you a copy of your notary log, would that be of benefit to you right now?
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to mark and enter objectors exhibit B. And just for the record, the other one was marked as objectors exhibit A. Okay, Mr. Tonelli, can you tell me what the objectors exhibit B is there in front of you?
This is my notary log. For any signature that I personally witness or approve with as a notary, you want to make sure that you have a log with that. This log also gives me, recollection of what identification was presented at that time. I've done hundreds of notaries. I can't remember everyone, but in this case, he had presented an Illinois driver's license.
Okay, so you did in fact, is it your independent recollection that you checked the Illinois driver's license and you accurately recorded the address?
Absolutely.
And what is the address stated on your notary log of the affidavit?
1016 Greenbrier Drive, Glendale Heights, Illinois, 60139.
Okay, and in your process of performing your notarial duties, when you are asking somebody to, or I'm sorry, when somebody's requesting you to act as a notary, do you have them swear that the information that they are notarized or that they're asking you to notarize is true and accurate?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you go through the swearing in process, correct?
Absolutely.
You also check the affiant's ID.
Correct.
Then do you also check to see if the signature matches on the ID with the
Absolutely.
signature that they gave you?
That's the only reference you have.
Okay. And all of these acts are required by the Notarial Act, correct, to be a
Correct.
compliant notary?
Absolutely.
Okay. And just check one more thing. Are you familiar with analyzing signatures, and reviewing signatures?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have a copy of the petitions, Andy? Here, this one. Thank you. I'll show you what is a board exhibit. Did we mark board exhibits yet, Mr. Casper?
Yes,
We did. Okay.
what is the
This is the nomination
petitions are,
Exhibit A.
exhibit A, the
Okay.
one, I think the number.
Exhibit 1, okay. I'm gonna show you what has been previously marked by the board as exhibit 1. And if you could take a look at that versus the affidavit of Mr. Hussein. And can you take a look at line 9 of that document of the board exhibit 1, which is again the nomination petitions of the candidate?
Yes.
Okay, does that signature look anything like the signature of Mr. Hussein that he provided to you when he personally appeared before you with his ID in hand? And also had his address being 1016 Greenbrier. Do those signatures appear to match to you in your professional experience?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And again, just to sort of sum it up, Mr. Azim Hussein did in fact swear to you that the contents of the affidavit were true and accurate and correct. I have nothing further for this witness.
You have any questions?
What is your address? So, where do you reside? Where is your office? Where? you reside?
2019
Two
South
2019
2019 South 24th Avenue. Broadview, Illinois, 6015.
Broadview.
Broadview, Illinois, 60155.
Have you seen Mr. Hussain before you notarize his petition?
No,
It's the first time.
first time.
Okay. And.
Which is common in notary work.
Yes, I understand that. 24, right? 11, 24, 24. What was the time? Approximately.
Time frame, roughly 11:30 a.m.
Okay. He was alone or he was with someone?
He was by himself.
Just one person?
That is correct.
And when you signed, did you see him after that?
I have not seen that gentleman since. No,
So that's the first time you saw him and you notarized his petition. Affidavit.
yes,
And you are not giving evidence on content of affidavit. You are just evidence of signature, not content in what seems that.
I don't
You are-
understand your question, sir.
The content of evidence, affidavit, you are
The
not,
affidavit that is presented to me
you are
for signature,
You are.
Wait, don't talk over each other. Let him answer your question.
I was there for a notary
So
to
you,
confirm signature and identification for the person filling out the affidavit.
so my question is, you are not witnessing content of the evidence.
Objection asked and answered and also beyond the scope of direct.
Overruled.
So you don't know what was in the affidavit.
Oh, I read the affidavit, yes.
You are supposed to notarize signature.
Okay. Done and done.
Right.
I have to make sure that all the
If
signatures,
you,
pardon, I have to make sure that all the signatures are in the correct place. So yes, I do have to review the document to make sure that we have everything filled out properly. That's part of the notary's job.
it's the same question, you are not witnessing or notarizing content of, affidavit. What was in the affidavit, you don't know.
I know where signatures need to be
No,
taken.
signature is different. I'm talking about content. You
What
don't,
is your question that I haven't answered? Yes, I review the document before signature. That's what a notary does.
notary does just notarize signature. Notary is not responsible for the content of the affidavit.
Objection, he's arguing, he's not asking a question.
No, he's not answering.
Sustained. You have another question?
Yes. Can you read that this guy, he did not state any in the evidence, in the affidavit that where he residing on this affidavit? Is that you read?
The gentleman presented a government issued driver's license from the state of Illinois confirming his address.
No, I'm talking about affidavit. In affidavit, he does not say where does he reside.
Objection, the affidavit speaks for itself. It says what it says.
It does not say, it does not,
Sustained. We can read the affidavit.
it does not say,
Okay.
and he does not say in this affidavit that his vote is registered at 1016 Green Drive.
Same objection.
Sustained.
It's not there. No question.
Any of the board members have any questions?
Not right now.
No? Okay. I have a question, Mr. Tinelli. Why is the affidavit lodged twice?
There was two affidavits.
By the same person?
Correct.
Where is the second one?
Okay, I have no further questions. Does anyone have any follow-up? I'm sorry, do you have any follow-up?
No, I have nothing further.
Mr. Colcar, you have any follow-up? All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Tinelli. Oh, so, I guess, shall I?
Do you have any further witnesses?
I have no further witnesses.
Okay.
I'd
Okay,
just like to move, both exhibits A and exhibit B into evidence.
Any objections? Oh, no, those documents will be admitted into evidence. Objectors exhibit A, the affidavit, and objectors exhibit B will be admitted into evidence. Okay, so I think at that point, we've heard from the witness. And then I think we have to wait and see what the results from the county clerk are, so we should recess and come back in a week or so, maybe a week from today. Sorry about this, folks. Okay, does that work for you, Mr. Coker?
Which one?
If we come back a week from today?
Yeah, sure.
Same time? Okay, 10 a.m.
Let the electoral vote and wait and know that we're coming back. It has to be done,
Yes.
because we're not gonna keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Okay, all right, this matter is recessed. Thank you both.
What's the?
A week from today,
10 a.m.
16th.
April
That's the
23rd.
23rd.
23rd?
Okay,
23rd.
okay. Okay, the next case is Corbin versus Pope. Number 2025 MOEB-2. Mr. Pope, are you here?
One question, I mean, if signature, there are two signatures. One is the 48, 5% plus 50.
Okay,
If we can talk,
we can't, we recessed. I asked you if you had anything to.
No, okay.
Okay.
We can
All right.
talk.
All right, Mr. Pope, you're up. Okay, case number 2025 MOEB-2 for the objector,
Tiffany Nelson Jaworski.
for the candidate.
Pope.
Okay, Mr. Pope, you're the candidate,
Correct,
and you are elected to proceed without a lawyer.
correct.
All right, when we were here last, this case was also referred out to the county clerk for completion of a records examination. And this one too has not been completed yet. And that one's we need to do some work on it. So we need to recess and come back here
So next Monday, 10 a.m.
next Monday. Sorry for the evening.
That's okay.
Okay? All right,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you. Okay. Now.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hicksman.
And then the next case is Biancan versus Staffa, case number 2025 MOEB-04. Ms. Biancan, welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
Can you please leave?
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Who's on the board for this one? I forgot. That's right.
The mayor was in place of Mr. Kojak.
Yeah, all right. Let's do your.
Yeah.
You agree. All right, I forgot about that too.
He said, so.
That's a hot seat.
Yes.
So you heard what we went through before, we're still not finished with Mr. Shasta. So we're gonna have to discuss.
So what are the most of my history on that one?
That's a good question.
Sir, I'm here for Mr. Scott.
Oh, you are? What's your name?
My name is Kim Donovan. Hello. I'm Kim Donovan. He just asked me to speak to him in case you had any questions.
Are you a lawyer, Ms. Stop?
I am not.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, that means you cannot speak for Mr. Stop. Mr. Stop can speak for himself,
Okay,
or he can speak through a lawyer, but
okay.
he can't speak through
But I can take notes on what you guys decide.
certain.
Absolutely. Let's go. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, case number 004, Biancan versus Staffa. For the objector. Identify yourself, please.
Narima Biakan,
Okay, Ms. Biacan, and you are the objector.
correct,
And you are proceeding without a lawyer, correct?
that is correct.
Okay, and is anyone here for the candidate? Is Mr. Stoffel present? Anyone else? Please identify yourself. What's your name? ma'am?
My name is Kim Darwin.
Darrell?
Mr.
How do you,
Cloud.
wait, how do you spell your name?
Oh, Darlin.
Darlin. Okay, all right. Okay, so when we were here last, part of the allegation of this complaint involved the alleged invalidity of a certain number of the signatures on the candidate's nominating petitions.
That's part of the money.
Yes, yes, yes. Do we have evidence of service of the complaint on Mr. Stockman? You know?
Yeah, I gave it to you last.
Oh, you did? Okay, fine.
All right.
Right, okay. All right, so this case was here. Mr. Staffa did not appear at the first hearing, nor did any attorney appear on his behalf. At this hearing today, Mr. Staffa again did not appear, nor did an attorney appear on his behalf at any point in the proceedings. Nonetheless, we referred that matter out to the board of the county clerk's office to review the signatures. That is ongoing. And we have not heard the results of that. So, that's where we are. Ms. Bianca, do you have a motion that you'd like to make?
I would like for the petition to be stricken.
You would like for the petition to be, for your objector's petition to be granted,
Correct.
which would invalidate Mr. Staffa's nominating petition.
Yes.
Okay. I believe, and what's the basis for that?
Basis of that would be not enough signatures as determined in election code of 25. And number two, right now for national and pricing.
Okay, so Ms. Bianca's motion in legal speak is called a motion to default. So what she's asking is that you rule against him due to his failure to appear in two separate hearings. So your options at that point are to grant that motion and default Mr. Staffa failing to appear, which is permitted by the rules, or to deny the motion to default and come back again and we can hear the merits of the case.
May I just ask, how many signatures did he get? Do you know on the top of your head?
On top of my head, I believe it was 26 or 27, with 3 being out of district, which would bring it down below the.
25.
25. That was, it's the 5%, but there's a 25% in
26 is the allegation.
Correct, minus the 3, so it would be 23.
We didn't have enough signatures.
We have the same page, probably.
I have my own copies, but I don't have that. I do know
I will
that,
return you.
I'm sorry?
I will return you back, sorry. Read that.
No, what are you looking for?
She is in a combination, yeah. How many signatures he have,
26 total.
total 26. And how many are invalid?
Three.
She alleges 3.
She alleges, right, correct. So should we give one opportunity if you are,
That's up to the board.
With all due respect, this is the second time.
I participate.
They're all busy, they all have.
I'm not like you.
We also are under we have to have all of this settled by January, mid-January. And if we keep on going with this, we will not be able to, we're gonna wind up with names on the ballot that may or may not be dropped. I've already been contacted by the county and have spoken with them, and they are giving us mid-June.
Okay.
And we did go through this before, so it's in our best interest to do it. I feel that I honestly, I did speak with Mr. Staffa when he picked up his petitions. I asked him specifically if he had any questions. Nope, I'm good. He did not ask how many signatures. He didn't ask anything. This is what I have. These are the numbers I've been giving the candidates. There was a question at the last meeting. I have those right on my desk. And if somebody asked me for them, but I did ask the candidates if they needed any help with anything. And he said no. He came in himself to pick it up. So I feel that he could have called me at any time. He did not. And I feel that we can't keep dragging these on.
Numbers, the numbers.
I would like to move that we grant her petition to have these withdrawn or,
Okay, there's a motion.
yes.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I agree with her.
Okay,
I just said it.
okay.
Because she
Let's
cannot
call the roll. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Coker,
no,
Ms. Schroeder,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Okay, the motion carries. Okay, so. Ms. Starler, will you please inform Mr. Stopper?
I will,
Okay.
but he has been denied because he did not have
No,
enough
ma'am,
signatures.
you can't.
Oh.
You can't. All right. Okay,
I will inform you.
all right, thank you. When we come back next Monday, I'll have a written decision reflecting your judgment and execute it. And Mr. Stopper or yourself are welcome to come here and get a copy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time. Okay, now we have. Well, did you get the email that I sent this morning?
No,
Oh, I sent you an email this morning with some documents. It's the decisions in the cases from last week. We need to sign those.
Okay,
Can we get somebody to turn them out and bring them out?
sure.
All right, we'll stand in recess for. I mean, you can stay and pick up copies of the cases that you were involved in.
I think I was under the impression you're gonna deliver a decision about Ms. Lopez, was that?
Yeah, that's today. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna win it.
We're in recess.